10 taxpayers, 10 people that wasn't on welfare, that worked every day, you understand me, and became great taxpayers.
I'm not saying that.
No, we're not bringing Alicia. I just want,
no, I'm not,
just cheers up for those that
what I'm saying is that the government program that got them there,
sure,
didn't help her to raise 10 taxpayers.
Right.
She raised 10 taxpayers.
Well, but the economic, but the idea.
One moment. The government giving a stimulus is a different thing because it's teaching them how to fish. It's not giving them a fish and saying, okay, you're on your own. We'll give it to you every month. We'll give you one fish and you do what you got to do. It's the stimulus package is putting people to work. It's sustainable. So I'm just
where did that money come from? The stimulus package money. What is that money? What is it?
It comes from our
taxes. You got a wallet?
I got a wallet. That's come from my
That's
wallet.
where it originates.
Exactly.
Somebody has to pay for it.
But didn't somebody sign something with China or something like that? Was that part of the deal? Some kind of loan or whatever? Was that part of it? Are we too high or should we come down now?
No, we're getting some loan money.
We're getting loan money.
There's definitely some bonding that's going on.
Let me ask you this right here, Joe. You're in real estate. Is the stimulus package similar to, you know how you refinance your house and you pay off all your creditors? You pay off your car loan, you pay off your credit cards, and you have one loan. Is that what America done, Joe?
Well, I'm not sure exactly where you're coming from, but what the intent of the stimulus package is identical to what she was talking about.
Sure.
Is there a payback on it? Is that what you're saying?
In other words, what I'm saying, Joe, is this right here. All right.
It's more like a grant. Okay, you're giving somebody something to work with.
Okay.
The money just isn't printed. It's coming from someone.
Sure.
It's going to eventually come from your children.
Sure.
You probably won't see the day when this will all be paid off. I doubt, unless the economy really booms and we're able to get the Treasury back up to where it should be. Obama came into office, we were already in trouble.
That's the
as
truth.
far as finances are concerned. Okay, so he has to spend. He knows he has to spend, and he doesn't have the money. You know, it's a fact that we're borrowing money from China because we just don't have it. Hopefully,
so then they hold the mortgage.
Exactly. They're
so they're the bankers.
Right. They're the bankers.
That's what I'm trying to get out.
Yes.
So someone do hold this mortgage.
Yeah.
That there's a mortgage on this thing.
Exactly.
That we have to pay back.
But they can't
now, do we
foreclose
pay?
on the United States.
Are we going to? So the thing is, this right here, they can't do what?
They can't foreclose on the United States.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the World Bank, and that's World Bank problem. We got to get somebody in here from the World Bank next time to talk about this right here, to really put this thing, so we can, as American people, can really get to understand exactly what the stimulus package is.
The government, just like you, borrows money.
Okay.
Okay, they just can't print and say, well, I need $8 billion.
That's right.
Go down there and print up $8 billion. It don't happen that way. The money comes from somewhere.
All right.
If you don't have it in the Treasury, you borrow it.
Okay.
And it's borrowed from other countries. We borrow a great deal from China. China happens to be doing an enormous amount of business with us. And they're... And we have been borrowing from them. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Sure.
But we've got to pay it back.
We got to pay it back.
Okay, and the best way to pay it back is an economic boom.
Okay.
And get union workers back to work and start buying American goods. So start, in fact, I don't want to get into manufacturing. Start manufacturing again. Okay, so we buy our own product. Every time I go to a store, I look at something, it's backwards. Made in Taiwan, made in Korea.
Joe,
it's made everywhere but here.
But Joe, let me ask you this right here.
Yeah.
I know of your sojourn with the unions. You were union president years ago, and I mean, you come with a great a wealth of knowledge. But let me ask you this right here. As a capitalist country, can we really afford to make our own stuff, or do we have to buy from a nation where they may not have the unions and they may not get paid the same amount? Because our union workers, we have to be paid because the way our economy is, the way the economy is here. You see, so can we actually, as the United States, can we actually go back into reproducing, and will we be able to afford to buy the stuff if we produce it?
You know, we have no choice but to do so. The world is shrinking. We've got to change the way we think. Okay? There's competition, and at one time it was millions of miles, thousands of miles away. Today it's around the corner.
Sure.
They produce, and it's here within days.
That's the truth.
Okay, so we've got to adjust to
But
that.
can we, Joe?
Yes, we can do anything. This country, you can do anything.
Yeah, but the idea, if we produce, let's just say, a cell phone that's made, manufactured here in America, can the American people afford to buy it?
American people have no choice but to do so. If you went into the store and you saw something that was American made and it cost you a few cents more, you've got to do in your conscience say, wait a minute. It's going to cost me an quarter or an extra dollar.
Yeah.
But I know the money's staying here. It's going into some family's pocket. Somebody who has a job here.
Sure.
You've got to be willing to sacrifice that.
Sure.
Okay. If you're going to keep running down to the dollar store,
Sure.
so that you can save 50 cents,
Right.
well, we're going to run into this problem.
Okay.
Okay. But labor has to understand too. It has to come to terms. I mean, it's got to learn that it's got to change the way it does business too.
Okay.
And it's doing so now. You see it in American Airlines. It's going to extremes now.
Sure.
Okay, where corporate America takes advantage of things like this. Okay, but yeah, there's shared sacrifices here,
Sure.
and you have to share in those sacrifices.
Okay.
Unfortunately, people take advantage of situations like that. But that's what it's all about. We have to work in and realize that.
But
we're
if
together.
okay, now China and Asia has become more or less like a breadbasket for goods all over the world. And the idea, if we in the United States start manufacturing our stuff, right, and as you say, we would buy our stuff here, buy here and this and another. The other Western nations may still depend on Asia as a breadbasket in producing things. All right, will that in 10 years put them ahead of us? And will that, you understand me? Will we hurt by, you understand what I'm, see, it's another one. You know what I'm talking about, Joe. Come on, Joe, you know what I'm talking about.
With this country,
Yeah.
it's always been noted for its ingenuity.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, they're going to produce cheaper because what they do is they have cheap labor
Right.
and they exploit labor.
Yes.
Okay, you've got kids working in factories for nothing.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to live with that.
We clean
in
that up
time,
here.
that's going
Yeah,
to change.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, it'll change in China.
Yes.
And they will unionize in other
right,
countries.
exactly,
and then we brought up to our levels.
But until that, okay, you know the ride that we did here in America. There was child labor laws and things of that nature that we, you know what I mean, that we went through here. And we evolved out of it. We evolved out of it, without a doubt. We evolved. It'd be crazy now to even think of something like that. Kid 8 years old working, from sun up to sundown. It would be crazy here because we evolved out of it. Now, the rest of the world, China and places like that, they have to evolve out of it. But at this moment, you understand me? While they're in it, not that we're taking advantage, because I think that we are helping the evolution by purchasing their goods. What do you think?
Well, this change has to come about, and it's not going to come about overnight.
Sure.
Okay, you'd like it to happen tomorrow. It
That's
doesn't
right.
happen tomorrow.
No,
It'll happen in time.
That's right.
Okay, but people should have an understanding of what has to be done and what's happening around them.
Sure.
Okay, and in time will change. Countries, I believe, will become more unionized, and then certainly the important thing about a union is not so much to grab up what goodies they can grab.
Sure.
People have that impression of unions. They're in there to gouge.
Sure.
They're not in there to gouge. Okay, they try to make a nation a strong middle class.
Sure.
And the whole idea behind the unions is that it's the unions are there. They're the few. To protect the many.
Sure, of course.
I should say is to protect the many against the few.
Sure.
And you have corporate exploiters.
Without a doubt.
You see what they're doing.
That would fire you.
Look around you.
That would fire you just because they don't like the way you color your eyes, and that's what the union will protect you for that right there. So it's still a great holler to have. It's still a great thing. What do you want to say, Alicia?
Oh, I'd like to interject. Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
So I've been taking notes. So one of the things that you said is that we should go back to manufacturing. And not that I don't disagree with that, but our manufacturing industry in the United States has shrunk so much. Now, we have a choice to make right now. We're at a crossroads. So do we go back to where we were 30, 40 years ago and become a manufacturing and industrial nation? Or do we move forward and become the service nation that we're becoming now? So most of our industries in the United States, a majority of them are service industries. We sell things that are service oriented rather than manufacturing goods. We're not a goods manufacturing country anymore. So
can we get by? But the word is this here today. Can we change our way of doing business and still make a mint for the American people? I think that's the
we've already changed the way we're doing business. We've already gotten away from. Have you seen on the news? Manufacturing is closing up left and right.
Right.
So we've already changed the way we're doing business. So what we're moving toward, and this is one of the things that you mentioned in the Obama stimulus plan, one of the things that, the American Recovery Act, one of the things that we're doing is we are moving toward green initiatives. We're moving towards training on green.
Sure.
So that's an industry that someone else can't compete with us on. Why would we go backwards and start making widgets when someone else is already doing that really well, really cheaply?
Right.
Why would we want to spend, it's not, when you shop, it's about your interest. So if you are not making the money because you don't have a union job, maybe you only have a high school education. You can't afford to spend the extra 50, 60, 70, $1 on that item because it's made in the U.S. Sure. You have to make choices and say, I want to feed my children, or do I want to buy the widget for $1.75 more than the other widget?
Sure.
You know,
so when we buy that widget, we're buying it because we need it.
That's right.
And needs, you have to buy it. That's it. It's a necessity. So if we're buying it and it's $1.75 cheaper than what we make here, why would we want to compete in that market when we can't compete on price? There's no manufacturing that competes on, values. Walmart competes on price all day long. That's what
you kind of like said a whole plateful there, and I'll agree to you.
That's only because I was waiting like a half hour.
To a certain extent, but you talk about the industrial revolution and industry moving over, and we can't compete with them. Well, no matter what field you get into, we thought we were ahead in technology. Okay, but you go to India, they're catching up with us. You go to China, you go to Japan, they're passing us. So you got to put this in your mind now. No matter what you do, the world is capable of competing with you. Okay, no matter what you think that, well, I can do this and they can't do it, it's not going to happen. They can do it.
Joe, I don't think the world built a better airplane than we do.
No.
Or a better tractor trailer. What do you think about that?
Well, nobody beats Caterpillar. You got those certain things that we do have a monopoly on. That'll change in time. So it's all about changing the way we do business, okay? And I'm not saying that we manufacture and be the masses of everything that's manufactured, but to be totally pushed out. Look at GM and look at Chrysler.
Sure.
I mean, who would ever think giants like this would be pushed out of the market? Fayette talking about buying out GM. GM owned the world at one time.
That's right.
Bill Gates sits on top of the world today with his Windows. I mean, and Microsoft. I mean, there's someone you can look up to and say, look what the magic he worked on. But that can only be temporary. That can change tomorrow.
But the tools and stuff that he sells, those things in terms of computers, are they made and everything here, or
they're programs?
Okay,
they're programs. He doesn't really sell any tools like Bill Gates.
Software.
The software.
He's just
is all that made here in the United States?
Yeah.
Microsoft.
I mean, Microsoft, Google. I mean, another wonderful example. We have ingenuity here, so we're no longer selling widgets. We're selling brain power. We're selling programs. We're selling packages. That's what we're selling here. So, and with the green industry, with the curve of manufacturing, we're behind the curve on manufacturing widgets. We're ahead of the curve with manufacturing solar panels. So right now we have ideas here that other places don't.
Well, I want to ask you a question. What is a widget?
A widget?
A widget, yeah.
Okay, when I say a widget, I mean making something that's
okay.
just a commodity.
When I said
a tube for the lipstick, commodity. Something that's made in Taiwan. That's a widget.
We have to change our way, the way we think.
It's a marketing term.
In '73, when we had the oil embargo, and we knew that the Middle East had us when it came to oil and could back us into the corner, what did we do? Nixon promised us that we'd be energy free in 20 years. Okay, it never happened. You know why? Because we became complacent.
Sure.
And what did we do? Instead of building economical cars, because we know, hey, we got a problem.
That's right.
What did we do? We built SUVs.
Right.
Yeah.
These big SUVs. Everybody's running around with huge SUVs and Hummers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we're skidding on ice here.
One little person riding a 9-passenger car. Go ahead, Jenny. Bring us out. Finish us out.
Obstacles to breathe. I just want to scream, let it all out, like a teapot, and just blow. Angry and frustrated at who, what, I really don't know. Life is sometimes up and sometimes down. It seems mostly down. But when it's all said and done, just stop and look around. People say they care, probably truly do. But what does it matter? My problems are my problems. Just deal with them and cut out the chatter. Come on. There's got to be answers to all this mayhem. I want to know, why is this happening to me? Damn. You do good, you treat people right, you smile, and oh, don't forget thank you. Hell, it ain't working. Now what am I supposed to do? Wait, just breathe. I'm going to take a minute and get myself together. I'm going to get through this economic problems, no matter how stormy the weather.
Amen. Okay, so I guess we go out with Rochelle Claiborne. Can't bring me down. You can't bring me down. We will not let this thing bring us down.
push me around because you think I wanna fight. I'm getting tired of little annoyed. I thought I had a man, all I got was a boy. Now my mama didn't raise no fool. I think I'm wasting enough time on you. And I know you wanna disagree, but you can't cage a bird that's already free. So I'm moving on now. I don't want you by my side. Yes, I'm cruising on down to a better place in my life. You can't bring me.
Okay. That's it. You cut me before the right time. All right. It's over.
That half hour blew by.
It did.